Today I'm going to teach you where you can buy an infrared camera or filter and how to get started with infrared photography. In case you have some questions about infrared photography, I have a whole video explaining everything about it. Today I'm just going to be telling you where you can buy these things, so please check out that video if you have any questions. But anyways, before you decide to buy an infrared camera, I suggest buying an infrared filter first. Now this is the HOYA R72 filter. You can buy this around $60 on Amazon. There are cheaper knockoff versions and you can get those for like 15 bucks. It's really up to you which one you want to buy, but some of you may have seen my infrared pictures and you want to probably buy an infrared camera, but the thing is most people buy an infrared camera, then they just leave it in the closet for like months after. So be sure to buy a filter first, and then if you like it, you can decide to pursue to buy an infrared camera. Now the thing about these filters are that the colors are not going to be as colorful. This is the HOYA R72, that's 720 nanometers. And you can't actually use any other filter. Like some people try to buy the 590 filters, but those don't actually work because the infrared filters on your cameras are too strong. This works on your phone, I made a video about it. And some phones have very weak IR filters that you can actually fit a 590 nanometer filter on those phones. I think, for example, the Samsung or the HOYA P90. That just goes to show that the quality of filters in those phones is not very good, but unfortunately it helps you use infrared filters on them. But yeah, first I would recommend buying the 720 nanometer filter. It's the cheapest, and if you like it, you can move on to buying an infrared camera. The next cheap alternative, or the cheapest next alternative to be a point and shoot infrared camera, and there's plenty of them. When people ask me where I can buy the camera, it's really easy. You just go to eBay and you search for infrared camera, and there's many people who are interested in infrared photography and they just kind of stop like after like a week or something. So they usually put these cameras up on eBay for anything like around 300 bucks and above. But sometimes you find these little cheap point and shoots for like $70, the same price as a filter. Now I don't really want to go into detail between the filter and the camera because I already have a video about it that you can check out. But if you wanted to upgrade from the filter and wanted to get a point and shoot, you can go to eBay and find one really cheap. You just have to search for an infrared camera. The next one, and I am not actually sponsored or anything, but Kolari Vision, KOLARIVISION.com, they have modified brand new infrared cameras that you can buy. And I think they're like around $150. I'm not so sure, but I know that they're much cheaper than a modified mirrorless or DSLR camera. So these are like modified point and shoot cameras that you can buy, and they're like the next cheap step outside of buying the filter and outside of eBay. So I would look into that if you're not looking to spend too much money on a system. Now, if you're looking to buy like a full-fledged modified infrared or full spectrum camera, like the one I have, there's still three choices. One, you can use eBay. Two, you can use what I use, which is actually Lifepixel.com. Actually, I bought this camera on eBay in 2013 and it just died, so I had to buy a new one. And this time I went for a much more pricier upgrade and I use Lifepixel.com. The third option is Kolari Vision. Now, I have no bias between Lifepixel or Kolari Vision. The only reason I use Lifepixel is because they happen to have the camera that I wanted and Kolari Vision didn't have the camera at the time. However, you can choose between either one, and they sell used modified infrared cameras, or you can buy a full spectrum camera. Now, I started with the R72 filter, then I upgraded to an infrared camera, and if you don't know the difference between those two, please check out the video about it. I already have a full thing about it. And then I decided to modify my infrared camera into a full spectrum camera. Now, the difference between an infrared and a full spectrum camera is one, a full spectrum camera is pricier, but it's only pricier because you have to buy these special filters to use on your full spectrum camera. An infrared camera is a fixed color, like the one I had was 590 nanometers. But if you decide to go a full spectrum camera, you're going to be needing these infrared filters, and they let you change the infrared color. So you can go from brighter to darker. You can even buy a filter that blocks all infrared light and lets only invisible light, so that your full spectrum camera acts like a regular camera. So there's that to think about. The only downside is that these filters are not cheap. So you're going to be spending much more money if you decide to go full spectrum camera like I have right now. But anyways, there you go. That's where you can buy an infrared camera. Quickly to recap, cheapest one is start with the R72 filter. You can find them on Amazon. You can find knockoff versions also, like they're becoming more popular these days, also on Amazon or eBay. Next, you can buy a modified point and shoot infrared camera, which is you can find them on eBay, or you can buy a cheap one at Kolari Vision, like 150 bucks, something like that. If you want to step up your game, buy like a mirrorless or DSLR that lets you change lenses. Then I will look into eBay first. Next up, I will check Lifepixel or Kolari Vision. It's up to you which service you want to use. And if you want to go the more fancier route, upgrade from an infrared camera, spend more money, you'll get a full spectrum camera that lets you change infrared filters. But of course, you gotta buy the filters separately. So yeah, I hope you found this useful. Be sure to give it a like, leave a comment. It always helps. And it helps even more if you share this video, Reddit or friends or something. But yeah, have a good one.